Jenica is with us in Appleton, Wisconsin. Hi, Jenica. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Okay. Well, thanks for taking my call. It's great to actually talk to you. I am in baby step -0. I am in a big hole of debt from some situations that have happened the last couple of years. Currently, I just recently quit my full-time job and got 2 part-time jobs because I couldn't afford the daycare for my son. I don't know if that was the right move, but it's where I'm at right now. I'm bringing in about $2,200 a month, and I'm getting a refund back for my taxes, and I'm wondering what to do with it exactly. I'm getting about $6,600, and I'm wondering whether to pay off my debts or to pay ahead on my rent, because right now I barely make it month to month.
And you said you're how old?
24.
24, and you have one child?
And I have a 2.5-year-old, yes.
Okay. How much child support do you receive?
$250.
Okay. All right. How come so low?
No idea. That's what they give us.
Okay. All right.
And I have my son about 90% of the time, so I don't really get a break to work much more than I already do, which, I've tried the whole, you say, get your income bigger, but I just don't really have that option anymore.
Yeah. Where's your family?
They're all in Wausau, which is about 2 hours from my home.
Okay. So why are you where you are?
I initially moved here for the job that I just quit, but then the housing and daycare kind of bit me in the butt with how expensive it was versus what I was making. I was making about $34,000 a year, but then I was paying.
What were you doing before?
I was a receptionist at a VA clinic.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And you moved to Appleton to take that job?
Kind of not. Wausau didn't really have anything for jobs or for anything really, so I moved here for that reason and to be closer to my son's dad.
Okay.
And I do have a sibling that lives closer to me here, but yeah, that's the only family that's close by.
Yeah. How's your relationship with your parents?
Great.
Okay.
But I'm actually in $10,000 of debt to them because they've helped me too much, and I've told them they no longer can help me because I cannot afford to pay them back.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, so what we've got to do is to fix your income short-term and long-term. Obviously, the part-time job of some kind, you're doing 2 now, but your income still sucks. So we've got to do something to get your income up short-term, doing anything that's legal and moral. Then long-term, we've got to have a career path, which you haven't mentioned one.
Right. Well, and my biggest thing, where I was at the VA is kind of where I wanted to be long-term. I liked the receptionist type role, and I was making good money there. But the biggest reason I quit there and got my 2 part-time jobs is because at my 2 part-time jobs, I can bring my son with. So that eliminates my daycare completely, which was $820 a month.
Yeah, and so you're netting more that way. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
making
that's
less,
logical.
but netting more.
That's logical on the short term. It doesn't get you to your long-term goals. But long-term, your goals should be more than receptionist at the VA. I'm talking about when you're 36 years old, 12 years from now, what are you going to be doing with your life that makes you $90,000 a year?
Honestly, I have no idea.
That's what we need to work on. That's what we need to be thinking about. And working through that process, and then take some steps that help you get there. You can tolerate a lot of pain and inconvenience on the short term if it's good for you and your son on the long term. Agreed?
Right.
And so if you made a little less or were inconvenienced a lot more or both, or made more and were inconvenienced a lot more, and you cleaned up your debts and you started to build a little bit of a savings account to where you can actually go to school and be a ... whatever it is you want to be. And I want to go into this field. I want to be go into that field where I can make some serious change and have a high quality life going forward for me and my child. But the problem is if you aim at nothing, you're going to hit it every time. Nothing. And so we have to have a better plan for your life going forward that has more vision to it than you've got right now. The reason I was asking about home and your parents was on the short term, like for a year, if you could work 100 hours a week doing something and your mom watched your son for free, you could clean up a lot. But you'd be working all the time. But I'm talking about for 1 year. You can do anything for 1 year if you're going somewhere with it. But that would be to get mom and dad paid off, to get any other debts paid off, and to put some money in the bank so you can go take a class on whatever it is you want to be when you're 36.
Okay.
But I think you've got a little bit of dreaming to do. You've been just desperate about eating.
Right.
And I want to get your eyes off of Friday onto Friday when you're 36. And start to go, okay, what's that going to look like? Let's get that dream down out of the clouds and let's get it into HD so we can see all the clarity of it. And then let's think about if that's my desired future, if it's where I'm going, then I have to ask myself what has to be true. Okay, I want to be an RN. Okay, then nursing school's in your future. Or I want to be a welder. Okay, then you've got to go get a certification from the tech college on that. Or I want to be a Ruby on Rails developer. Then good, you need to get around some guys and gals that do coding and learn the computer world. Or I don't care what you want to do as long as you go about doing it. But what you're doing right now, you don't want to be doing when you're 36. Are we in agreement on that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So step back a step or two, and then that will tell you a little better what to do with this $6,600. No, I would not prepay your rent. I would put it aside as an emergency fund or to pay for the class you're going to go take or classes you're going to go take, or to pay for your move back home so mom can watch your baby for a little while if mom's willing to do that for a short period of time. And this is not, Mom, I want you to raise the child for me for the next 10 years. This is for 1 year because I'm going to go wide open during that year, and here's what I'm going to accomplish, this, and this. And if I think I can make this kind of money, and I'll have to drive a ways because there might not be enough jobs right here close, but whatever. And you start laying out a plan that doesn't include partying, and it doesn't include worrying about the husband, your child's father's convenience, because all he's putting in the pot's $250. So whatever convenience he needs to have to see his son or child, it needs to be his little butts in his little car driving up to see him, because you got to go make a life for yourself. You're stuck right now. You're poverty looking for a place to happen if you don't change this direction. And that's what I want you to look at, how I want you to think through this. You can do this. We'll help you. I'll walk you through the process. I'm going to send you a copy of Christy Wright's book, Business Boutique, as it might be a small business idea bumping around in your head that you want to go try. I don't care what it is. I just want you to dream again, and I want you to dream past survival, past Friday. And then you can start taking the steps to get there. It's worth sacrificing to build a better life for yourself and your child. And but you got to have a path. You got to have a map, a step-by-step game plan on what it's going to take to get there. And you can do that.